My man. Yo, yo. Yeah, man, everything's smooth. We're good to go. No, yeah, everything's going. Yeah, I did see that property hit the market today. You want me to schedule a showing for the property? No, yeah, but Tom, we're in escrow right now. No, like we close tomorrow and you wanted to see this property. Look, I know it's cheaper. I get that, but you want to pull out to see it. All right, hold on one second. Okay, I mean, I'll make it happen. Yeah, you too. No, always a pleasure. Thanks. Who needs a drink? What's up, Elite Retreat Rockstars? My name's Jeremiah. I am the host and co-creator of the YouTube channel, The Craft Tender. Now, I've been handpicked to curate this event's cocktail, the Elite Elixir. Now, along with this cocktail, I'm gonna give you two more. They're gonna come to you without any contingencies whatsoever. Now, we're gonna focus on an ingredient that was originally handpicked for this cocktail that's as versatile as the MLS itself, except you guys get to enjoy without being a member of the board. Let's get into the cocktails.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
So we're gonna start off with the Elite Elixir cocktail. This is fantastic for anybody that's looking for something light, refreshing. It is also our non-alcoholic version or mocktails today. 100% of the time that you're looking for something like this, it is always gonna come with some citrus, a little bit of sugar. Keep in mind, I'm using simple syrup today, which is a combination of water and sugar that's basically just been boiled and reduced. Don't hesitate if you're trying to watch the calories to reach for the stevia as well. So, as I make this, keep in mind you can use equal proportions, especially if you're using stevia, only use a few drops. I wouldn't use any more than that. So, let's get into the cocktail. So anytime you're making a drink that calls for something to be muddled, you wanna start with primarily your most heavy substances first. So this is gonna have 2 lemons muddled, 3 basil leaves muddled. So we'll start with 2 lemons, and you're gonna drop that right into your I'm Resilient tumbler. And this is 3 basil leaves. Now the trick to muddling is not to pulverize the ingredients, especially when you're working with something like basil. If you stomp on this, it's gonna come out really like swampy and can be really off-putting. So you just wanna press. Now, we have our ingredients muddled. All we're gonna do essentially from here is add a little bit of simple syrup, a little bit more lemon juice, and top it off with tonic water. So, we'll start with our simple syrup. It's 2 tablespoons or about a half an ounce. And the same exact of lemon juice. Now that we have that there, we're just gonna ice the tumbler and top off with whatever tonic you like. I like Fever Tree, they make a great product. So, Fever Tree tonic. And we're gonna garnish the cocktail with 1 lemon wedge and 1 sprig of basil. And there you have it, guys, the Elite Elixir, as simple as an all-cash offer. So the next series of cocktails I'm going to arrange for you are a bit more fully loaded, right? The first one I wanna talk about reminds me of that guy we all know in this industry that typically likes to do it himself. Everything pretty much is a DIY project. For some reason, he thinks that even though he's not a professional, doesn't really know this industry, that he's 100% gonna get exactly what he's looking for, only to find out the results are pretty subpar and ends up hiring a pro anyway. I call this one for Drink by Owner. So we're gonna get into the first cocktail for Drink by Owner, and I'm gonna walk you through the ingredients we're gonna use. I'm gonna walk you through the method to build the cocktail, the equipment we're gonna use, and the appropriate technique to shake the cocktail. So let's start with equipment. We are gonna use a shaker tin. We're gonna use one with the large side and the small side. This is basically called a cheater tin. It seals nicely. So inside our shaker tin, the bottom part, we're gonna start with our first ingredient. Now we're not muddling anything in this drink except for cucumber. So cucumber first. There really is no perfect amount of cucumber. You really just want to make sure you have enough to get a nice expression out of it. So grab yourself a little pinch. Again, the same idea when we're muddling. You don't want to pulverize this. So just give it a nice press. And we're always going to start with our heaviest ingredients first because everything gets stuck in the inside of this jig here and we want to be able to wash it out. So we're going to start with what I've made, a basil simple syrup. This is pretty simple. 2 parts sugar, 1 part water, boiled down, add in basil leaves, and then strain away the basil leaves and you have the expression of the basil in your simple. So this calls for 3/4 ounces of a rich basil infused simple syrup. I'm gonna play very classically into what is a gimlet style cocktail, and except for we're not really gonna be using gin here, we're gonna be using vodka. So any gimlet calls for sugar and lime juice. So we're gonna go 1 ounce of lime juice. And you can really choose whatever your favorite vodka is. I love Tito's. This is probably some of the most versatile vodka you could use. You can find it anywhere. It's relatively cheap. We're gonna use 2 ounces. Now all that's left to do is to ice the tin, shake really aggressively, and I'm gonna give you an idea what that looks like. Then we're gonna double strain into our Nick and Nora glass. So we have everything in our shaker tin. Now we're just gonna seal the tin, give it a shake. Sometimes people want to know how much you should shake. When you start to see the outside of the tin look like it's sort of chilling or freezing, we're probably in pretty good space. We're just going to give it a couple more shakes. I really want the cocktail nice and cold. Now we're going to double strain this cocktail. The reason why I want to double strain is because I really want a really nice and clear cocktail that's going to be easy to drink and won't have a bunch of debris from the cucumber that I muddled left over in the cocktail. So we have everything all prepped in our glass. Now all that's left to do is to basically just garnish the cocktail. So we took a little bit of the cucumbers to play with the same theme, cut them really thin, made sort of like a floral design out of it. We're just gonna clip that to the inside of the glass there. And then use one of our nice basil leaves around the side. So there it is. Here's a cocktail that starts off a little sweet, but kind of finishes on the sour side. Hence the name, For Drink by Owner. Cheers. So for the next cocktail, I think you're really gonna like this one. As I was kind of dreaming it, I thought to myself, okay, we've got citrus, we've got, basil that lends itself really great to fruit. And then I thought to myself, okay, I need something that's gonna come through and just push this cocktail together. And I thought, what else other than tequila? So this cocktail I call the Notice to Perform. So let's get into the cocktail. Now the same way that we built the first cocktail and we muddled it directly in the glass, we're not gonna do. We're gonna use the bottom of our tin. So we're gonna start with 3 strawberries and about 3 sprigs of basil. Since there is strawberry and it tends to be a bit firmer, we do want to really get some elbow in here. Now just be careful not to, like I said, overly abuse the basil here, otherwise it's going to end up tasting swampy. All right, now we have our ingredients muddled. We're going to start with the first ingredient, and that's going to be 3/4 ounces of agave syrup. Now we're going to follow that with exactly 1.5 ounces of lime juice. And 2 ounces of any tequila that you like. I'm using a Blanco today because I didn't want to use anything overly aged because it tends to come off with a little bit of oak, and when you do that, you take away from all the ingredients in basically a margarita. So I'm going with the lighter tequila here. Go with whatever you like, but for this video, I'm using Azuñia. 2 ounces. Now we're gonna ice the cocktail and give it another long, hard shake. So now all that's left to do is basically ice our glass and then strain the cocktail. And again, remember, we are gonna double strain this cocktail. There's a ton of basil, there's a ton of like mashed up strawberry in here, so we wanna make sure we get a nice clean texture on the cocktail, so we're gonna double strain. Now to garnish the cocktail, we're gonna use a lime wheel, and again, we're gonna keep playing with that basil thing. We're gonna get a nice basil sprig in there. So, lime wheel in. So there you have it, guys. When it comes to this cocktail, you have two choices. You're either in or you're out. The Notice to Perform. So there we have it, guys. There's 3 cocktails that will definitely get you through 2021. And here's what I want to leave you with. As long as you're a part of this community, as long as you're a part of this ecosystem, there are a few things that we know will absolutely come with the territory. Number 1, we will always pivot. Number 2, you will always be resilient. Thank you for having me.